Chapter 5 of Nights with Uncle Remus. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain and is read by Mark Smith of Simpsonville, South Carolina. Nights with Uncle Remus by Chandler Harris. Chapter 5. Brer Rabbit's Astonishing Prank. I 'speck dat is de reason w'at make ole Brer Rabbit git 'long so well, 'kaze he ain't copy atter none er de yuther creeturs. Uncle Remus continued, after a while. When he make his disappearance for 'em, it is allers in some bran new place. Dey ain't no whereabouts fer to watch out for 'im. He wuz de funniest creetur er de whole gang. Some folks moughter call 'im lucky, en yet w'en he git in bad luck, hit look like he mos' allers come out on top. Hit look mighty cuse now, but it wa'n't cuse in dem days, 'kaze hit 'uz done gun up dat, strike 'im w'en you might en whar you would, Brer Rabbit wuz de soupless creetur gwine. One time, he sorter tuck a notion, ole Brer Rabbit did, dat he'd pay Brer B'ar a call, en no sooner did de notion strike 'im dan he pick hisse'f up en put out fer Brer B'ar's house. "Why, I thought they were mad with each other!" the little boy exclaimed. Brer Rabbit make his call w'en Brer B'ar en his family was off from home, Uncle Remus explained with a chuckle which was in the nature of a hearty tribute to the crafty judgment of Brother Rabbit. He sot down by de road en he see 'em go by, ole Brer B'ar en ole Miss B'ar en de two twin chilluns, which one un um was named Cubs en de udder one was named Clibs. The little boy laughed, but the severe seriousness of Uncle Remus would have served for a study as he continued. Ole Brer B'ar en Miss B'ar, dey went on long ahead, en Cubs en Clibs, dey come shufflin' en scramblin' long behime. W'en Brer Rabbit see dis, he say ter hisse'f dat he 'speck he better go see how Brer B'ar gittin' on, en off he put. En 'twa'n't long needer 'fo' he 'uz ransackin' de premises, same like he 'uz sho' nuff patroller. W'iles he's gwine 'roun', peepin' in yer en pokin' in dar, he got ter foolin' 'mong de shelves, en a bucket er honey w'at Brer B'ar got hid in de cubberd fall down en spill on top er Brer Rabbit, en little mo' en he'd er bin drown. From head to heels dat creetur wuz kivverd wid honey. He wa'n't des only bedobble wid it, he wuz des kivverd. He hatter set dar en let de natal sweetness drip out'n his eyeballs 'fo' he kin see his han' befo' 'im, en den, atter he look 'roun' a little, he say to hisse'f, sezee, "Heyo yer! W'at I gwine do now? Ef I go out in de sunshine, de bumly bees en de flies dey'll swom up en take me, en ef I stay yer, Brer B'ar'll come back en ketch me, en I dunner w'at in de name er gracious I gwine do." Anyhow, bimeby notion strike Brer Rabbit, en he tip 'long twel he git in de woods, en w'en he git out dar, w'at do he do but roll in de leafs en trash, en try fer ter rub de honey off'n um dat a way. He roll, he did, en de leafs, dey stick. Brer Rabbit roll en de leafs dey stick, en he keep on rollin' en de leafs keep on stickin', twel atter w'ile Brer Rabbit wuz de mos' owdacious lookin' creetur w'at you ever sot eyes on. En ef Miss Meadows en de gals could er seed 'im den en dar, dey wouldn't er bin no mo' Brer Rabbit call at der house. 'Deed, en dat dey wouldn't. Brer Rabbit, he jump 'roun', he did, en try ter shake de leafs off of him, but de leafs, dey ain't gwine be shuck off. Brer Rabbit, he shake en he shiver, but de leaves dey stick, en de capers dat creetur cut up out dar in de woods by his own lone self wuz scandalous. Dey wuz dat, dey wuz scandalous. Brer Rabbit see dis wa'n't gwine ter do, en he 'low ter hisse'f dat he better be gittin' on todes home, en off he put. I 'speck you done year talk er deze yer boogers w'at gits atter bad chilluns, continued Uncle Remus in a tone so seriously confidential as to be altogether depressing. Well, den, Dis 'zactly dat way Brer Rabbit look, en ef you'd a seed 'im, you'd a made sho' he de granddaddy all de boogers. Brer Rabbit pace 'long, he did, en eve'y motion he take, de leafs dey go swishy, swushy, splushy, splishy. En fum de fuss he make en de way he look, you'd a tuck 'im to be de mos' suvagest varmint w'at disappear fum de face er de yeth sence ole man Noah let down de drawbars of de ark en turn de creeturs loose. En I boun' ef you'd a struck up 'long wid 'im, you'd a been mighty good en glad ef you'd a got off wid dat. De fus man w'at Brer Rabbit come up wid was ole Sis Cow. En no sooner is she laid eyes on him dan she h'ist up her tail in de elements en put out like a pack er dog was atter her. Dis make Brer Rabbit laugh, kaze he know dat w'en a ole settle 'oman like Sis Cow run distracted in de broad open daytime, dat dey mus' be sump'n mighty cuse 'bout dem leafs en dat honey, en he keep on a rackin' down de road. De nex' man w'at he meet was a black gal, toilin' a whole passel of plantation shotes, en w'en de gal see Brer Rabbit come prancin' along, she fling down her basket of corn en des fairly fly, en de shotes dey tuck thoo de woods, en such near racket as dey kick up wid de runnin' en de snortin' en de squealin' ain't never bin year in dat settlement needer befo' ner since. Hit keep on dis a way long ez Brer Rabbit meet anybody. Dey des broke en run like ole boy was atter um. Co'se, dis make Brer Rabbit feel monst'us biggity, en he 'low to himse'f dat he 'speck he better drap 'roun' de skirmish in de neighborhoods of Brer Fox house. En w'iles he was standin' dar runnin' dis 'roun' in his mind, yer comes Brer B'ar en all his fambly. Brer Rabbit, he git crossways de road, he did, en he sorter sidle todes um. Ole Brer B'ar, he stop en look, but Brer Rabbit, he keep on sidlin' todes him. Ole Miss B'ar, she stan' it long as she can, en den she fling down her parasol en tuck a tree. Brer B'ar look like he gwine ter stan' his groun', but Brer Rabbit, he jump straight up in de air en give himse'f a shake, en bless yo' soul, honey, ole Brer B'ar make a break. En dey tells me he tore down a whole panel of fence gittin' way fum dar. En ez de cubs en clibs, dey tuck de hats in de hands, dey went skeddlin' thoo de bushes de same as a drove of hosses. "And then what?" the little boy asked. "Brer Rabbit paraded on down the road," continued Uncle Remus, "en bye, yer come Brer Fox en Brer Wolf, fixin' up a plan fer ter nab Brer Rabbit, en dey wuz so intense on der confab dat dey got right on Brer Rabbit 'fo' dey seed 'im. But gentermens, w'en dey is catch a glimpse er him, dey give 'im all de room he want. Brer Wolf, he try ter show off, he did, 'kaze he wanter play big for Brer Fox, en he stop en ax Brer Rabbit who is he. Brer Rabbit, he jump up en down in de middle er de road en holler out, 'I'm de Wull er de Wust! I'm de Wull er de Wust! En youer de man I'm atter!' Den Brer Rabbit jump up en down en make like he gwine atter Brer Fox en Brer Wolf, en de way dem creeturs lit out fum dar wuz a caution. Long time atter dat," continued Uncle Remus, folding his hands placidly in his lap with the air of one who has performed a pleasant duty. "Long time atter dat, Brer Rabbit come up wid Brer Fox en Brer Wolf, en he git behime a stump, Brer Rabbit did, en holler out, 'I'm de Wull er de Wust, en youer de mens I'm atter!' Brer Fox en Brer Wolf, dey broke, but 'fo' dey get out er sight en out er yearin', Brer Rabbit show hisse'f, he did, en laugh fit ter kill hisse'f. Atterwuds Miss Meadows she hear 'bout it, en de nex' time Brer Fox call, de gals dey up en giggle, en ax 'im ef he ain't fear'd de Wull er de Wust might drap in." End of chapter 5.